So in this video I'm going to just demonstrate something about conditions where you can express two conditions in the same condition. Okay, what we mean is this. Well, we oftentimes do with this kind of situations where you say, if I want to marry someone, I'll marry someone who's both rich and handsome. So we are saying there are two conditions: someone must be rich and handsome. Or someone can say, for me to go out and drink, it's either I'm so bored or I've got a lot of money on me. So there are those two conditions. You could be either bored or you have got so much money on you. So one of those conditions. So I'll show you here how to write conditions like that. Like if this is the case or this is the case, or maybe the scenario of if this is the condition and this is the condition. So to start, I'll say and. If you want to say and in C++, we use expression, two ampersand symbols. And if you want to say or, we use the expression, okay. Hope you can find that on the keyboard, okay. Not the slashes, but those signs there. Okay, so these two mean or, and these two also mean that. But at the same time, let me also make it clear that the equal to, okay, the equal to in C++, equal to in C++ is written as is like with two, okay, two equal signs. That's mean and equal to. Okay, just like the not equal to, we use this. Okay, if you want to say not equal to, we write, okay, we use this. We use, okay, exclamation and equal to mean not equal to. Okay, and then the other thing you also need to know is if I want to say less than or equal to, okay, in C++ we use this. We say less than or equal to, okay, just like if you want to say greater than or equal to, okay, do this. So if you want to say greater than or equal to in C++, so we say start, okay, fine. So let me get started here. So to just start, I'll create a variable again, max, okay. So what we're going to do, we'll create a program which can rank a mark, whether a mark is a fail or say a credit or a pass or a distinction or merit. So let someone enter the mark, and as per custom, so want someone to enter, so we'll say enter max, okay, enter max obtained, and then we see him to get the mark, so we say max goes into there. Okay, now, so let's put up a condition. Let's check if the mark is a fail. What are we going to do? We'll say if. So let's assume that we've got a system of grading where from 0 to 40 or from 0 to 39.99, that's a fail. So we say if max is, so in the first place, max must be greater or equal to 0. So greater or equal to 0. And so I'm going to say and max, okay, and max is less or equal to. Now let me say less than 40 to mean not 40 but less than 40, meaning from 0 up to 39.99. So that is going to be taken to be a what? A fail. So say cout, so this is a fail. Okay. Then what if this is not the case? Else, so we're going to go in the next range and check if. We say if. Now here, I can even copy this just for me to be fast. I'll say this, but now this time around I'll say if the mark is greater or equal to 40. So let's say from 40 to somewhere 59.99. So we're going to call this as what? We're going to say this is I'm going to refer to this as a mere pass, okay, a pass. Okay. Then you say else, again, meaning if the mark is not in that range, what are we going to do? So again, we'll do a check here. So I can still copy that and place that here. So you can see we've got a series of conditions here, all of them using and. So let's say what could be a credit. We say anything that is in Okay, so let's just try to extend this a bit to say 54 here. Okay, I'm not saying this is a standard, I'm just trying to assume. So 54 up to, let's say anything up to 64. We're going to refer to this as C out. We're going to say this is going to be a credit. Okay. Else, okay, what should we put here? So again, I'll paste that and then just edit. So I want this to be, so I'll say this is 64, and from 64 to anything less than, let's say 80. Okay. So I'm going to say this is a, so I'll say this is a merit. Okay, we'll print merit. So else, okay, so this time around, we're checking if the mark is above 80, so greater or equal to 80. And then here we'll say less or equal to what? To equal to 100, because we want the mark to be like only up to 100. Okay, anything up to 100, this is going to be taken as so we're going to say this is a, so this is a distinction. Okay, now what if it's not in any of these ranges? So we're going to say else, then obviously we can say this is an invalid mark. Maybe the mark is a negative or it's a 120, which is not valid. So we say this is an invalid, okay, invalid mark entered. Okay, like that. So we have got a chain of conditions here. So we're trying to just show one pointer in the case of nesting. So we have nested conditions here, and also have so we have got two conditions here. So the program has to satisfy, like here, this and that must be satisfied. So if a mark is say 49, yes, that mark is greater or equal to 40, at the same time it's less than 54, so it will satisfy these both conditions. Hence we'll print this, and the program won't come to look at this part. But if not, then the program will come to look into this part here, also here. So only if this condition is satisfied are we going to see this executed. Okay, so I forgot that there. So let's try to run this program here. So we can compile and run. Okay, so there are. So if we enter a mark, let's say we begin with the wrong mark. Okay, this is an invalid mark. Okay, let's try to run this again. Okay, let's enter that. 120 invalid mark entered. Okay, let's enter now 78. Okay, merit according to our condition. Okay, let's put 90 distinction, right? Let's put a 45 pass. Okay, so the program is working fine. That's how you can use the case of and here. Okay. However, let me also demonstrate in the same program how to maybe use an or. Okay. Let's assume that after this we have another maybe say a mark for English here and a mark for. Okay, let's say we have got chemistry here and also a mark for physics. Okay, that's not a very good practice, okay, but I'll use it though for now. So I'll tell someone enter chemistry mark. Enter chemistry mark, and then that is going to be entered here. So it will go into K, okay, and then C out. I'll say enter physics mark. Then I'll say C in, okay, C in physics, okay, that variable there. So maybe I want to say if someone passes either chemistry or physics, then they can enroll into a science course, okay. What are we going to say? We'll say if, so we'll put up a condition there. We'll say if chemistry is less, okay, let's assume that the pass is a 50, less or equal to 50. So it should be greater, so we'll say greater or equal to 50. Or, so we're going to say or here like that, or physics is greater or equal to 50, then we are saying this person can do, so we say this person, we say, can enroll into a science course. Okay, so we're saying this means or, meaning the program will check, it's either if the mark here is bigger than 50 or the other side, then that's when to tell someone to enroll into a science course. Okay, else, okay, let's put an else here, just simply say, so if this doesn't work out, I mean, if this condition is false, then it implies, okay, it failed in both sciences, so cannot enroll into a science course. Okay, like that. So, okay. So how is this going to work? Okay. So what are we expecting to see here? So we will enter the first mark, which will be determine if it's a fail or a pass. Okay. So we'll say enter first mark. Okay. So merit, then there's this. So let's correct this. So let's have this start from there rather than the way it's coming. So what we can do is, before we maybe start running this, we can say let's have a cout. So endl. So endl simply means terminate this line, go to the next one. Okay, what I will do is I'll put two endls. So I'll put another endl here. Okay, so now let's run this program again. So enter that mark, merit, and then now enter the chemistry mark. So enter that. In the physics mark, we enter fail. Okay, can enroll in a science course. Okay, right? Let's run this again. We say, okay, that is the first part. Okay, done. Now enter the chemistry mark. So let's enter both fails. Okay, enter the physics mark. So what are we going to get? Failed in both sciences, cannot enroll in a science course. Okay. But in a case where somebody has passed both chemistry and physics, so let's run this again. Okay, that's the first part. So now our focus is here. So if someone got good marks in both, to still so say it can enroll in a science course. So the way or works, as in or, means it's either this or that is true. So if either of this is true, then this is true, then the whole condition is true and we execute that. Otherwise, we're supposed to run a statement there. Okay, so see you as you look at the next video.